having a hard time with it being a word that was included in its entirety.
The local school board votes to suspend a teacher after the district says that he violated policy. We'll have the latest from the hearing.
And thunderstorm chances back into the forecast over the next several days. We'll break down the latest details coming up.
And Northwest Arkansas is seeing a surge in new hotels. We'll look into some of the reasons why they're popping up in the area.
A live look out in Bentonville. Good morning to you there. Your 5 News this morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, hey, good morning and happy April Fool's Day. Thank you so much for joining us on your 5 News this morning. If you're with us about an hour ago, I said I had a story about April Fool's Day you had to stay tuned for. This is it. I do not participate in April Fool's Day anymore. Yep. Every once in a while, I'll feel feisty and do it. But in high school, I told my friends I was going to act like I broke my foot. I was very serious about it the night before at dance and show up to school with an air cast the next day because I had one from a previous injury. I broke my foot that night at dance. And then no one believed me the next day.
That's just karma.
When I showed up to school on crutches.
Ouch. Well,
and so after that, I don't participate very much.
Just use some caution today, April Fools. Check social media. Make sure you don't get fooled by anything. More than likely, going to be a lot of those tricksters out there today. Weather impact alert for us. Unfortunately, not joking about this. Got multiple storm chances over the next several days. Lots of rain chances along the way as well. Really every day outside of today. Today is going to be another windy, warm day today. Temperatures out there right now into those mid to upper 40s. Northwest Arkansas across the River Valley, upper 40s, low 50s. Really, when that thunderstorm chance starts to come back up is by the time we get overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. That'll be at least the first window. But then Wednesday morning through the early afternoon will be almost that second window once that cold front arrives. By the time we get to Thursday, Friday, even into the weekend, more storm chances still into the forecast. Northwest Arkansas, the rest of the day today looks like this. A mix of sun and clouds out there. Daytime highs much warmer than yesterday, reaching up into those low 70s for us today. Again, it's all because of those strong winds that we have across the River Valley. Starting off into the 50s, we'll top out into the mid 70s by the time we get to this afternoon. Again, really the nuisance today is going to be the strong wind gusts peaking anywhere between 30 up to 35 miles per hour by the time we get to the afternoon. Late this evening, overnight into tomorrow, that's when those winds are going to be strongest. Here's a look at those severe zones, not only overnight tonight, but over the next several days. Overnight tonight, overall, that risk is on the lower end of things, but it's not zero. Wednesday morning into the afternoon, that's when we have the highest risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms this week. But even Thursday, Friday, and even on Saturday, there is a risk for some thunderstorms in the forecast. Lots of rainfall going to be picked up over the next several days. We'll tell you just how much coming up in just a bit. But first, let's get a check of traffic out there this morning. Here's a live look out across I-540 there at Grand Avenue. Good morning to you there. Traffic moving along smoothly this morning. No accidents to report to you. Again, the winds could be tough to drive through today, but over the next several days, the talker is going to be just how much rainfall we have. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Stephen. Well, breaking news this morning, Fort Smith police say that they have responded to a vehicle pedestrian crash resulting in life-threatening injuries. The incident happened on Towson Avenue and South O Street. Police say that traffic will be impacted as an investigation is currently underway, and we will bring you any updates as we get them throughout the morning here at 5 News. Well, new this morning, as Northwest Arkansas grows, more visitors are coming to town, and new hotels are springing up everywhere. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley has more on the region's hotel boom. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Tiffany. Well, our content partners at Arkansas Business report just this year, Northwest Arkansas will see 9 new hotels opening, adding over 1,000 new rooms to the area. And that's just the beginning, with even more planned or under construction right now. A large number of those new hotels are popping up in Bentonville and Fayetteville. Kayleen Griffith, CEO of Visit Bentonville, says she believes the rise in demand is driven by a few factors. She points to the area's expanding events calendar, from sports to conventions to leisure travel, which is bringing in more visitors. When hotel occupancy is high, that brings even more development. She says one thing setting these new hotels apart is their location. Many are situated in downtown areas that are easy to explore on foot.
Even if you rode a bike, you could get to our trails within a 5-mile ride on our streets through our trail system. The connectivity and the walkability is what is key for our community, and I think that has been our game changer. They're traveling for experiences. They're also traveling to areas like ours that the borders don't matter. They're looking for an experience. So one of the things I think we have wonderful in Northwest Arkansas is that our communities work really well together to cater to all of the visitors.
And of course, having more visitors in the downtown areas brings more business to local spots. And Griffith told us in Bentonville specifically, 1/4 of the patrons at local restaurants are visitors, but 50% of the spending at those restaurants comes from those same visitors. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Morgan. Well, developing this morning, the Fort Smith Parks Department is working to find whoever is vandalizing park bathrooms. A city spokesperson says that they have been actively trying to cover all vandalism by clearing it off or painting over it as quickly as possible. However, he says Creekmore Park has been especially tough to maintain with the amount of vandalism that takes place.
It's the one that we've heard the most about recently. You know, we just repainted the interior of those restrooms, and within several days, 2 or 3 days, graffiti was all over the restrooms.
He says workers clean the restrooms daily. If you see any vandalism, he asks that you report it so the city can get it taken care of. And today, the trial is set to begin for a Van Buren woman that's charged with first-degree murder. Rachel Dukes has pleaded not guilty to all charges in connection with her son's death. Court records say that the child reportedly died with meth in his system last March. Lab reports show that the bottle used to feed Duke's son tested positive for meth. The trial is set to begin at 9 this morning. We'll bring you any updates right here at 5 News. While continuing coverage this morning, a Northside High School teacher will not be fired, but he will not have a job for the next 3 months. Robert Taylor was placed on administrative leave after a question he used on a test used a racial slur that the district deemed offensive and violated district policy. The school board heard testimony in a grievance hearing on Monday night and approved suspending Taylor for 90 days without pay. Taylor's attorney, Joey McCutcheon, claims that the slur used on the test appears in textbooks already in the district.
Dr. Murawski believes that Warriors Don't Cry, by the way, is also in the libraries across this school district, is completely unacceptable according to his release and does not reflect the values of the district. Then why is this man the only one on trial in this district?
It's not a word that you would say out loud. I'm just having a hard time with it being a word that was
Well, the board listened to 2 hours of testimony before going into executive session and deciding on the suspension. Well, at the Arkansas Capitol, an update on a bill requiring towing companies to release a tow vehicle to owners, even if they haven't paid. This morning, we're hearing from someone behind the bill that's seeing pushback from tow companies. The measure was supposed to be heard Monday, but is now expected to be in front of lawmakers later in the week. The bill's sponsor tells us it could look different than when it was originally filed.
Kind of what we're trying to address here is to give someone an opportunity to recover their car after paying a reasonable fee, or not, actually before they can pay a reasonable fee, because they can't pay it today without having to pay the storage fees.
Right now, the law says when a vehicle is towed without the owner's consent, it can be held by the towing or storage company for unpaid towing and storage fees. If passed, the bill would override the towing company's line, allowing the owner to reclaim their property without paying all fees. Well, tomorrow, President Donald Trump will unveil a new round of reciprocal tariffs against U.S. trading partners in what he's calling Liberation Day. The tariff threat is causing major swings in stock markets in the U.S. and overseas in recent days, which the president and his White House are downplaying.
The president has always said that the stock market is a snapshot of a moment in time, and he's doing what's best for Main Street and Wall Street.
Well, Trump is also teeing up new 25% tariffs on foreign cars and auto parts, which experts say could increase the price of new cars by $5,000 to $10,000. Prices for used cars could also go up.